Right now, restrictions on water use in San Diego are voluntary, but city leaders are pushing to make them mandatory by next month. Joining me with where we stand now and what might change is my guest, Hala Razak, Director of San Diego's Public Utilities Department. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hala, San Diego just implemented voluntary restrictions back in July. It's only been a few months, so why are you recommending stricter restrictions now, and how are they different from the ones we just saw in July?
While San Diegans have done an outstanding job in conserving and water use is substantially lower than it was in the past, the water supply conditions have changed quite a bit. We have less water in our reservoirs. The drought is really continuing, very hot temperatures, and the prognosis for El Nino condition has weakened substantially. So we believe this is an appropriate time for us to be going to the second level.
And if you could just highlight, how is it different from what we had heard back in July, aside from being mandatory?
The watering times are now only maximum 3 days a week, and those days will be assigned depending on the addresses, whether they're odd or even, and whether you're a business or a commercial entity. So those will be specific to folks, and they need to follow them. Also, there will be no operation of any ornamental fountains unless it is for maintenance, and no washing of cars unless you're using a bucket or you are using a hose with a shut-off nozzle.
All right, and I want to move on to some pictures that the San Diego Coastkeepers took over the last few weeks of local water wasters in public and business areas. This is Mission Bay Park on September 4th. We see sidewalk overspray here. Also at the Balboa Avenue Shopping Center on September 30th, there's overspray there. And then we're looking at runoff from MTS power washing near the trolley downtown on September 15th. Are there any water restrictions for businesses, public areas like public parks or public golf courses?
Yes, the same water restrictions apply to not only residential properties, but also businesses and commercial properties as well.
I know the city's public utility department says that except for the South Bay, as you were talking about, San Diego residents reduced their water use by 6% in September compared to last year. What is the department doing to educate people to make this possible?
We're doing a lot. We are out there on social media. We are doing interviews. We're going to community events, educating everybody about the need to conserve.
Are people that are conserving, residents I'm thinking mostly, are they seeing lower water bills?
Yes, of course they are.
Okay, so there's no sort of I know there was some problems in the past where you might conserve, but because there was a drought, there was also an increase on water rates. That's not happening.
No, it's not.
Since July, I know the city, I understand, has averaged about 300 calls per month to the hotline.
Yes.
Where people are reporting water abusers or water overusers. And today I understand the mayor released an app called Report Water Waste to make the reporting even easier. What are the fines under the new restrictions, and how would they be enforced?
What we are doing, we're not really concentrating on fining folks. We're concentrating on education. Last time we were under the same restrictions, we were under those restrictions for 2 years. And throughout the 2 years, we've talked to a lot of residents in San Diego, and we only issued 1 citation. So we've been really lucky that the residents in San Diego, once we alert them to the violation, they correct it and we just move on. So that's what we're concentrating on. Last time, the violation was $100, that 1 citation that we issued. So we are going to, this time again, be concentrating on educating the public and making sure, because when there is a violation, that individual is wasting their own money. That's why they correct it usually pretty quickly.
Now, if the council approves the drought alert, mandatory restrictions, how long would they be in place, and what would move us to even further restrictions?
So those restrictions will stay until the conditions change. And by that, I mean if the hydrology improves drastically and the council deliberates over that and decides that they should be lifting these conditions, that will be the decision at that time. At this time, I am in touch with the state of California, and they told me that they're going to wait until January to see what kind of a winter California gets. And at that point, they will decide if we will be making any changes. But right now, we are going to stay put and kind of watch the conditions and how they change.
Well, we have a lot more on our website, kpbs.org. Hala Razak, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.